Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you were here. First and foremost, I want to say again, rest in peace, Kiki. Thoughts and prayers to her loved ones, to her spouse and kids, and to the people who truly loved and care about Kiki, right? So what we're going to talk about tonight, which I didn't want to talk about tonight, but Phonics Unhooked, aka Show Enough, aka Letitia's mom, really left me no choice. I gave her the out. I gave her the advice that this wasn't it, that this wasn't going to go well, that if you were going to waste your time inserting Mel into things that had nothing to do with your so-called issues with Martel, that I was not going to take you seriously, that it had nothing to do with anything, right? And so I want to get right out the way the family things that Phonics Unhooked mentioned, from at least what I gathered. And so she basically wants to blame Mel for the problems that she had with Kiki and the problems that Tisha had with Kiki. And basically is trying to say it's Mel's fault that Kiki was on the show. And here is where, again, you lose me, because who brought Kiki on in the earlier seasons when you wanted Kiki to go at Kimmy to try to get Kimmy in line because you didn't like the fact that Kimmy was, telling however she felt to your guys' face. And you didn't like her spending all that time with Mel and taking up for Mel. And so you brought your cousin on, you brought your niece on, in addition to you, to have a go at Kimmy. But nobody wants to talk about that, right? It was only a problem when Kiki came back full-time recently and was filming scenes with Mel. Then all of a sudden it's Mel's fault, but you didn't feel that way about Kiki in the earlier seasons that she was on the show. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and this is what I'm talking about. Don't talk to me about fakery or hypocrisy, but when it benefited you and your family, you were not concerned about Kiki, you were not concerned about her mental health, you were not concerned about her being on a reality show. It was only when it was against your daughter that it was a problem. So again, you can't do this back and forth, this flippity flop stuff, because again, we're going to reference how it was okay if it was against somebody that Tisha had a problem with. But the moment that it was against Tisha or something in regards to her marriage, now all of a sudden the gloves come off, right? And here's the thing too. Everybody, including your daughter, Phonics Unhooked, including yourself, you guys all knowingly signed contracts to be on reality TV, regardless of whatever issues or skeletons you guys had in your closet. You knew that that was a risk. You knew whatever issues you had, that was a risk that was going to be amplified by being on reality TV. And there's been enough reality TV programming for decades now that you guys know how the routine goes, whether it's Housewives, whether it's Love and Hip Hop, whatever it is. You know how this routine goes. You know there's going to be set up for conflict, for drama. And the thing is this, especially when it comes to real life friends and real families, there should be a known understanding, hey, they're going to try to throw everything in the kitchen sink at us, but they're not going to tear us apart. We're going to be a united front, and if there is an issue or if they're trying to ask you to do X, Y, and Z against us, let's have a conversation about it, right? Let's not let them win. Let's show them that our bond is stronger, and we're not going to fall for the reality TV trap. You had the wherewithal to do that because you and Tisha had been on the show longer than Kiki had. But don't get upset when it was against you in recent seasons, but when it was pro you weren't concerned about whatever issues. And again, trying to blame the show on whatever issues recently has happened with Kiki is a cop-out. When you stated yourself on lives that there was issues well before the show existence, that there was issues when they were kids. That there was issues pinning them against each other. Even though they were close, there was still,
actions that was trying to pin them against each other and trying to turn everything into a competition, and who had a better upbringing and who had a better lifestyle, who had more education, who had a better family situation. All of that was pre-show, pre-existence of reality TV. Phonics Unhooked. So no, you can't blame the last year or two of whatever took place as it pertained to this show as the reason for the demise of your relationship with your niece, or the demise of the relationship that Tisha had with her cousin. But you also leave out the comments that you made about your niece and the comments that Tisha made about her late cousin. If you knew there was issues, instead of keeping things in-house, you decided to go on your platform and spill more tea and spread more allegations against your niece that was completely and utterly unnecessary, that had nothing to do with the show, but you wanted to hurt her and get back at her because you were so pissed that she was filming scenes with Mel, that she was going after whatever her issues were with Tisha and Marceau. But we're supposed to forget all of that, right? None of that is a contributing factor to Kiki trying to reach out and trying to work things out with you guys. And literally your daughter, a couple of weeks before Kiki's unfortunate passing, is selling Dustin basically that it doesn't matter, that the relationship with Kiki is DEAD to her. And I don't want to have to bring all this stuff up. I don't. But to sit here and try to blame Mel for any issues that you and Tisha had with Kiki, it is a joke. It's a complete and utter cop-out when there was issues before the show's existence. And like I said, when it was convenient, when it was earlier in the seasons for Kiki to be your guys' pitbull, to go after Kimmy or to go after whoever Tisha had issues with, you guys weren't going on social media then and basically saying, oh, Kiki needs to be off the show, this isn't good for her mental health, this isn't good for whatever alleged issue she did or didn't have. You weren't concerned about that then, right? So you can't play it both ways if you're going to insert her. And once again, why do we need to revisit, any type of business that involves Kiki or her mom? Kiki is no longer here, Phonics Unhooked. So again, why are we utilizing that? But then in the same breath, you're telling people not to mess with your family, but it's okay for you to mess with the family and say whatever you want without there being consequences. But then when it gets called out, now all of a sudden it's Mel's fault. No. So then we have that, right? And so then they want to bring up, I guess, whatever issues that are going on with the bloggers. I don't have any details on that. I don't know anything about that. Apparently, allegedly, there was some recording and allegedly about calling, child services on Phonics Unhooked or whatever. I don't know anything about that situation. Didn't listen to the audio. Don't know what that's about, right? I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is stop putting all of the bloggers or all of the fans into one box. Nobody's monolithic. There are people who are always going to be rogue regardless. There are people who are rogue that are fans of you, even Phonics Unhooked. There are people who are rogue that are fans of the Scotts, who had no problems spreading misinformation about Mel when they wanted it to be convenient for them. And they didn't care whether it was true or not. The more disgusting, the more salacious, the more problematic, the better. But you can't flip it around and then just call, the few bloggers that wanted to take it to another level and just label them Melimeters or Mel supporters when they've never said as such. And this rumor about flying out the blogs or flying out 5 or 6 bloggers, well, what manifested of that? Where's the receipts of the 5 and 6 bloggers that were out in Huntsville, Alabama? What happened with that? Who are the people, right? Because what does that have to do with anything? And again, you're trying to correlate that to the issues with Black with the QUE, to the issues that Stormy had, and it's not the same. Marceau even said after initially him and Tisha trying to gaslight the Melimeters and Mel supporters, eventually said that there were issues. They had issues with their sales tax, right? which they were in violation of. They admitted that other people who were owners of other establishments and city officials were complaining about them. That doesn't sound like millimeters or MEL supporters to me. And like I've said multiple times in previous videos, Black with a QUE just can't get shut down willy-nilly. There has to be tangible evidence. There has to be an investigation. There has to be an inspection for them to be valid in shutting them down. If they're in violation for something, if something's not up to code, if their license is expired, their liquor license is expired, if they're not, suitable to run their business, it has nothing to do with any fans. And as for the Stormy thing, I don't even know why that's being related or correlated in any capacity to Revenge P. And I'm just going to need you, if you're going to speak on it, can you look up the court case? Can you look up what the actual charges are? In the relation of Stormy's charges, it was because her and her husband came out cussing out Black Titanic and everything else, right? And basically got that warrant, right, for her actions, right, for her response to what took place, right? But as for Martell, his charge is DV harassing communication in the 3rd degree. Meaning he was sending threatening text messages that contained their, intimate moments together that he was putting out there, sending to Mel as a threat if she didn't do what he wanted her to do. That is not the same thing as what happened to Stormy. And a step further, which Carson Blue confirmed and others, including Martell's side chick, is the plan was for either Martell's side chick or whomever to create a fake account on Instagram and post the Revenge P, post the SEX tape, and alleged Mel was cheating on Martell with some other man, but the side chick ultimately, after asking everybody for advice, decided not to do it because she knew it was Martell in the video. So she knew that was going to get her jacked up. Or possibly she doesn't want more groupies after Martell than what there already is. That honestly, in the bird brain mind of hers, that's probably the real reason she didn't want to put it out. Because she didn't want more women coming after Martell than there already is, right? It had nothing to do with anything else, right? Because she knows the type of man she's with. She knows she is with an F-boy, right? So nonetheless, there is that, right? I'm going to need you guys to look up those charges before you guys compare it, including Stormy. I'm going to need everyone, if you're going to compare what happened to Stormy and what happened to Mel and Tell, can you look up the charges for both cases and eloquently state what is the difference and what is the same about it, because it's not the same. And oh, by the way, Martell is convicted, you guys. Martell's convicted. Martell's not allowed to be in contact with Mel. He's not allowed to discuss Mel and all of these things. So stop inserting Mel into whatever Martell's current beef is with Marceau as it pertains to the super duper nonsense trailer, right? And so then we have as well that, Phonics Unhooked is admitting that she never had any issues with Martell. But in earlier seasons, Martell was saying the 20 girlfriends rumors then. You only had a problem now because Martell made an allegation that your daughter possibly cheated on Marceau, per the super trailer. That is the only reason you're upset about Martell, but you had no problem cussing out Marceau on behalf of your daughter. You didn't care about whatever Martell was saying about Marceau cheating on your daughter, right? Because you basically confronted it, that there was some truth to it. You basically admitted recently, and this is the other piece where it's hypocrisy, right? Because first you get on the show and saying there's no way that your son-in-law ever cheated on Tisha, although he really has never flat out denied it though. But then you backtrack several times in recent years and say, well, if he did cheat, he was either respectful about it or Tisha and him worked it out, right? Then you backtracked on that and said, well, if he cheated, it was before the show, it was earlier in the marriage, nobody has any proof that anything recent has happened, right? Now you're saying in this latest video that if there was any cheating that took place, it probably was before him and Tisha got married. What is the truth, Phonics Unhooked? What is the truth? What is the correct timeline? Because we went from Marceau never cheating at all to now there was some cheating that took place, but it seems people want to continue to backdate when said alleged cheating took place to make everything look better, to make it look like, oh, this was way back in the day, everything's all good now. No. That makes it sound worse. That makes it sound like something's still going on, and it's just more covert about it. It's just more on the down low. That's what it sounds like if we're going to keep it a buck. But then for you to admit in this video that you will knowingly repeat rumors other people say about somebody without fact checking if it's true or false, because if you feel they wronged your daughter, you're going to go all out. So basically admitting that because you're mad at Mel and the fallout of her friendship with Tisha, you had no problems putting the rumors out there about whether or not the youngest child was Martell's. You had no problems comparing your grandchildren's hair to the Holt kids' hair. You had no problems, again, spreading the cheating rumors and everything else without fact checking because you admitted in this video you didn't like Marceau anyways. You admitted in this video that you heard around town that Marceau was a dog. These are your words. And that not the Q dog, not his fraternity, that he was a flat out dog. And you didn't feel that he was on the up and up with your daughter, but you also say in the same breath that if he was not good for your daughter, there's no way she would be with him. But my thing is this, if you have all this alleged tea and receipts about Marceau not being this good dude and that he's around the way with all these other women, your daughter's still with him now and decided to still marry him and have kids with him. So either you had his tea, and as long as you had your daughter stay married to him, it was fine. As long as whatever indiscretions took place, it was kept on the down low. It wasn't put on the forefront. It was fine. But if anybody now tries to expose it, now it's a problem. No. And again, please stop giving people relationship advice. You literally are saying in this video, by the way, you admittedly have a husband and a boyfriend, right? But you admittedly say in this video that you told your husband that it was fine for him to cheat on you before you guys tied the knot. But then after you tied the knot, if he tried to cheat on you, you were going to cut off his bleep. What type of upbringing is taking place? I've never heard of this thing where you can be with somebody in a committed relationship with somebody, engaged to somebody, and it's okay for them to cheat. It's okay for them to have a whole harem of women. As long as they get it out of their system before marriage? No. You're going to get it out of your system before we're even a thing. I don't know what's going on. If this is like a Bessemer thing or an Alabama thing, I've never heard such logic before. Because I was raised to be treated with respect and that there's no dude that's going to be playing in my face. Right? So I don't know this logic about cheating's okay before marriage or cheating's okay earlier in the marriage or cheating's okay as long as the people don't find out about it. No. Cheating is wrong regardless. And like I said, there's no expiration date. If you cheated then or cheated now, you still cheated. But again, don't get on your high horse. Because now all of a sudden Martell is a liar, right? But before that, when it was against Mel, when it was anything negative about Mel, oh, Martell is the truth. We need to have him. We need to have the Mistress on the show. You were even a fan of the Mistress. You would go on her lives. You would be in her comments. You would be like, you need to be on this show. You need to have a go at Mel. That was you. And like I said in a previous video, you were doing a live with one of her friends that was at some place you were at. Hyping up Martell, hyping up his side chick, and you keep saying for some reason that Martell fell in love with her. But if Martell is in love with her after 10 years and has been divorced for over 4 years, why won't he marry her? If you're in love and you're not married anymore, you're not cheating on your ex-wife anymore, what's stopping you? Oh, she doesn't have any money. She's not educated enough. She's not intelligent enough. She's not a go-getter like Melody Cherie Rogers is. So therefore, there's zero benefit of Martell to tie the knot with her. He wants to tie the knot with a woman who's actually successful, who actually is bringing in money. He sees the side chick. She has not moved up from her position despite Martell being divorced from Mel for over 4 years. Martell is still on the hunt for his next woman, and according to you, he still has a whole harem of women. So how much does he love this side chick? And you're even alleging in the video that there's other women besides these alleged women that have been linked to Martell on the show. And then this thing too, that you're not helping your son-in-law's case either, right? Is this 20 girlfriends thing, right? Because now all of a sudden it's okay if your son-in-law had a couple of mistresses, but it's a problem if it was up to 20. And I'm just trying to make the logic make sense. It doesn't matter if it's one affair or 20 affairs or one woman or 20 women or whatever. Cheating is cheating. That is the fundamental thing. That's the part that I don't think is computing. It doesn't matter how many people you've cheated with or whatever or however. The fact is that you're cheating. The fact is that you are breaking your marital vows and the promise that you made to be in this committed relationship with. But the other issue that I have, Phonics Unhooked, is again, Martell's side chick put you guys on blast a long time ago. Put you guys on blast, had a full-on Tasha K interview, and said your son-in-law cheated with Martell. That Maurice and your son-in-law out here was cheating with Martell, was cheating with linebackers, and they all shared Airbnbs together, right? And not once did you come out and say that that was a lie. And even Kimmy didn't deny anything. She said, well, maybe this happened before we were married. No. You guys can't do that. And even Courtney was alluding to something in the trailer that something else might have went down involving your son-in-law and Martell when they're out in these streets, when they were out in Vegas, that he knew something, that he had some tea and told them to quit while they were ahead before it got out, before it made them look worse. So all of these examples, in addition to the Atlanta trip that Martell put out there on that previous reunion, there are multiple instances, more than once, where it looks like your son-in-law was not being the committed husband that you're alleging he is today. But you don't want to talk about that. It was only a problem now that Martell now inserted Tisha into the mess. But here's the thing too, is there's going to be people who are not necessarily going to write it off, not because whether or not they like Martell, but because your own son-in-law last season tried to put that out there, that maybe Tisha cheated on him when she thought she was pregnant. Basically saying to her, there's no way I could have possibly got you pregnant, either because of the vasectomy or because we're not sleeping together anymore. So therefore, it would have to be another guy. Your son-in-law put that type of inference out there to the people. That had nothing to do. That was prior to this super duper trailer, but I didn't see you get on live and say what your son-in-law did was disrespectful to your daughter. Because the whole point of this, right, is if anybody comes for your daughter, you're going to go to bat for them. But it seems that you continue to give Marceau all this grace. You don't have the same energy anymore that you did when you first came on the show for Marceau. Now, all of a sudden, because according to you, you guys are on better terms. So now, all of a sudden, you know, whatever he's convinced you that it's all in the past, right? That whatever he did wrong to your daughter, it's all in the past and everything's Gucci now. Or is it just to pacify you so that things are more covert, so that things are more undercover now, right? But I'm tired again of the hypocrisy, right? I'm very much tired of how we want to pick and choose what we want to be upset for. Previously, like I said, you said yourself you had no issues with Martell. You loved Martell. You loved him and his side chick. You weren't calling him a liar then. But now that he's inserted, Tisha into the mess, now he's a liar. But according to you, this has been the same thing Martell has been saying for several seasons. The only difference now is he's naming names. But you weren't calling Martell a liar then. And you knowingly were repeating anything and everything Martell said as fact. But now all of a sudden Martell's a liar. But wouldn't you want to shut that down years ago if that was the case? You're only coming out now because, like I said, he inserted Tisha's name and accused Tisha of cheating on Marceau. And you're saying without a shadow of a doubt that your daughter never did anything, right? That your daughter never stepped out on Marceau. And all of these things. But then it's funny now. Because like Tisha, now all of a sudden, you want Martell to produce receipts. You want Martell to produce proof now. That if he has proof that Marceau cheated, if he has proof that Tisha cheated, that you want him now to bring the receipts of the reunion. And are you confirming that the reunion tapes in a couple of weeks? Is that what you're saying? Make it make sense. Martell's a liar, but if he has proof proving that what he's alleging is true, doesn't that not make him lying about this particular situation? He could be a liar still. But what benefit does he have to lie about these escapades with other women if he was with the other people that did it? Like I'm just trying to understand. And now all of a sudden you want to call his side chick a 304, but she wasn't a 304 all these other years when you wanted to prop her up against Mel? And then what's the fascination of still calling Mel Martell's wife? And why do you keep trying to imply that they're still married? And that there's some big scam, that they're scamming us. And that they're all secretly together and that this is all for the show. What? Why do you keep doing that, Phonics Unhooked? Why do you keep saying that? You keep calling them the Holts. You keep saying that Mel is Martell's wife. Okay, what is going on? Why does this keep happening, right? But again, I just feel it was a lot of backtracking. I just feel, again, like the more these videos come out, it's like we're telling another lie on top of the previous lie, right? And we're at this point now where I don't know anything that you're saying at this point, what is truthful and what isn't. Because like I said, you came on the scene vehemently denying that Marceau ever cheated on your daughter, to now saying some cheating happened at some point, to then saying that if he did cheat, that's your daughter's business as long as she stays married to him and they work it out, blah, 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 blah. Then you say that the cheating happened a long time ago, earlier in their marriage. Then you said recently that if it happened before the marriage, that it was okay, and blase, blase, blah. And it's like you keep changing the narrative. You keep moving the goalposts. But I thought cheating was wrong altogether because that is, again, disrespectful to your daughter. And then finally, because again, Mel kept getting inserted into this nonsense, you wanted to go over the reasons that you didn't like her, right? And I guess one of the reasons is because she didn't send Tisha condolences when her grandmother passed away, I believe. You also were upset in regards to Mel throwing Tisha out of the Embrace event that Mel had, which was pre 7th Avenue Beauty, when she was married to Martell, of course, because Tisha was not invited. However, she still showed up as Kimmy's +1, so you had an issue there with that. And then the third reason, you're still trying to tie her into the Kiki thing. But my thing is this. There was issues before Kiki ever got on the show. You guys did not, you admitted it yourselves that there were family issues before the existence of this show even happened. And you guys were fine when, like I said, you guys used her to go against people that Tisha had beef with. It was fine then. But all of a sudden, if it's against you, now all of a sudden it's Mel's fault. No. There has to be some accountability here. When are you going to say the words, you know what? There were times I was not the best auntie. There were times I said things that was too far. I said things I didn't mean. I said things I could never take back regarding my niece. And for that, I apologize. Where is that going to come in? And did I miss a soundbite? When were you going to come for Funky Dineva? Alleging that your niece unalived herself. And again, placing blame on Mel in regards to your niece is implying that she unalived herself. So again, you're not helping the situation. Because when you guys keep trying to blame Mel and blame the show for anything that has happened, unfortunately, to the late Kiki, you're basically putting out there and implying that she did something in response to the show. And my question is why? And again, are we going to have to do another timeline because it's been months since Kiki has even filmed this show? So why are we still trying to insert Mel and insert the show into all these problems? And here's the thing. If you're so upset about the show and the direction of the show and you feel your daughter is this wronged, why is her and Marceau continuing to sign the contract and continuing to come back every season to film? And again, it wasn't Martell that started this, that started to, quote unquote, tear down Marceau or come after Marceau in his marriage. Your daughter started this when they planned the anniversary dinner for the Holtz. It was messy from the start, but nobody talks about that. And then this notion of wanting a cookie, if you were not the first person to repeat a rumor or repeat something that was negative about somebody, that should exempt you. But the issue I have is that you didn't have the wherewithal to say, you know what, this is too far. True or false, this is too far to put out there in any capacity, let alone a reality show. You didn't have the discipline to do that. And you wanted to say the most nasty and disgusting things about somebody because you have your own personal beef with Mel. But now all of a sudden that it gets called out at the severity of it and how wrong it was and how false it was, oh, I wasn't the first person to do it. I was just repeating what I heard. No. A person would normally fact check before they would just willy-nilly go out there and make such allegations about somebody. That is the problem that I have. Can we get these lies straightened out? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Martell is a great man. It is a stand-up citizen. Anytime he is dragging Mel, anytime he is calling her every single name in the book, is humiliating her, is gaslighting her, is threatening her, is doing all these things. Martell is X, Y, and Z. But now all of a sudden, Martell drops your daughter's name after 8 seasons, and now you want to go to war. Now Martell is all these liars. Now his side chick is, involved, and she's a 304. But you were mute when she did that Tasha K interview, putting her son-in-law out there. So again, it's not about Marceau and any alleged cheating. You just want to clear your daughter's name of any alleged cheating. And again, you still want to try to insert Mel. And I can't do it. Here's the thing. Everyone is of their own sound mind if they want to sign a contract and be on reality TV. And there's enough proof across the board of how negatively reality TV impacts even the most happy of people. But you guys made that decision to sign these contracts, and you guys continue to make the decision to come back for more. So miss me with whatever you feel the direction of the show is. Miss me with you being pissed off at Martell. You knew this was going to happen with how hard in the paint he went against Mel. And you knew this was going to happen ever since season 1 when Martell was alleging 20 girlfriends Marceau had. You knew at some point, the moment that Marceau turned on Martell, Martell was going to let it all out. You guys no longer can ring him in because he has nothing to lose now, because he lost his family already. And he lost his filming privileges to film scenes with Mel because of the DV harassment and the 3rd degree conviction. But don't sit here now and say do this whole 180 on Martell and this 180 on his mistress. Boy, you guys were the ones that are in each other's lives, dapping each other up, throwing shade at Mel when it was convenient for you, because you guys shared the same hatred and everything else. So all of that was good. But now that Tisha's name's entered the chat, now you all of a sudden, Martell is this and Martell is that, and I know more side chicks and blah, 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 blah. No. You can't have it like that. I'm sorry, you can't. And now you're going to go down, like I said, a rabbit hole, because other people are going to pull the receipts on all of the times that you didn't care as much as you want to make it seem about any alleged cheating that Marceau was doing, because it was more important to you for Tisha to stay married regardless, because you feel that that's some sort of a trump card or some sort of a flex to just say that you're married to somebody, just to say that you're married for X amount of years, regardless of the condition of the actual marriage itself. No. And you even said yourself that Mel was damaged goods because she was going to be a divorced woman of 4, mother of 4. But you're alleging in this video that you know all these women in Huntsville that Martell was out here in these streets with. So why are you coming at Mel for wanting to leave a cheating husband? Make it make sense. So there's that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.